There we go. So, because we're going to start with some alternate nostril breathing, feel free to go get a tissue, blow your nose, if you feel like it might be difficult to breathe. And remember that when you do throughout the day, different sides, hemispheres of your brain are dominant, and that influences how well you're breathing on one side of your nose versus the other. So also pay attention to that to see if you can sense if one side is more open than the other side. And then the other thing that I want to offer to you, it's not a requirement. Traditionally, when Nadi Shoshana is done, it's done with the thumb and ring finger on the nose, with the other two fingers kind of tucked under. And this is, the more traditional way of doing it. But one of the challenges that comes when you do this hand position is that we tend to lean toward I'm using my right hand. When we tend to lean toward the side that we are, that the hand we're using on, and it can be straining for the shoulder, it can be straining for the neck, and there's a lot to pay attention to already without having to also worry about, oh, I have to make sure I'm at midline, midline, midline. So, because alternate nostril breathing is about balancing the hemispheres of the brain and the body for that matter, let's maybe experiment with doing something a little bit differently. Instead of the traditional hand position, see if you can incorporate both hands into this experience. So you can use your thumb to just block off your nose. And remember, you don't want to like smush your nose. You don't want to have a lot of pressure moving against the septum. It's just gentle to shut off that nostril so that your breathing is only on one side. But we're going to switch, we're going to alternate from using one side to using the other hand and just kind of going back and forth between the two thumbs and just try it. And if you don't want to try it, if you want to do the more traditional approach, that's great too. If you try it, notice if it's easier for you to relax into the um, left-right brain gym kind of vibe of it, and also whether it's a little less straining for your neck and shoulder to do it this way. Sometimes trying something new can be good. All right, so let's go ahead and sit up straight and tall and just take a moment to first drop in to this moment, what's happening here. Maybe you haven't had time yet today to kind of center and ground yourself and slow down, maybe hit the ground running. Maybe it's a different time of day. It's not morning, so we know for Ruth it's the afternoon. So maybe you've had a full day and now it's time to kind of settle into presence with yourself. So no matter what you're coming from before this moment, let's see if you can just gather yourself and take a moment to observe. How are you? You can check in with all the koshas, all the layers of your being, your physical body, your energy body, your breath. Feel your way into your emotional body and your thinking, your mental body. How are you right now? Is there something kind of challenging that you're moving through? Do you feel settled? If you had to describe to somebody how you feel in this moment in all those layers, what would you be saying? See if you can bear witness to yourself. Sometimes it's hard to be honest or express the truth of how we're feeling. We can hide, we can deny. So let's instead just look at yourself very clearly and compassionately. Maybe ask yourself what your practice can do to help you, support you, make you feel as good as can be in this moment. Steady yourself. Go ahead and set that intention of offering yourself what you need. Check in with your posture, with any tension patterns. And before we start manipulating the breath, see if you can just pay attention to how the breath is happening for you right now. Are you breathing well? Is this the first time you've paid attention to your breath today? Often when we aren't paying very much attention to our breathing, our emotional states can influence whether we're breathing deeply or shallow. So let's give ourselves an opportunity now to deepen and broaden our breath and give ourselves the opportunity to take this prana in. Take the opportunity to let anything go that can be released. And then we'll begin with this different kind of way of doing alternate nostril breathing, unless you feel like being very traditional, in which case you do you. Okay. So let's begin by breathing out through the left side of your nose. So let's close off the right. Take a deep breath and then close off the right and breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. And then switch hands, close that side, breathe out through your right. Breathe in through the right. Now everybody's pace is going to be a little different. Go ahead and close off the right, breathe out through the left. So remember the way the pattern goes is we breathe out and then we breathe in through the same side and then we switch which nostril we close. So you're going to breathe out, breathe in, switch sides, breathe out, breathe in, switch sides. Now, when you do this alternate nostril breathing, pay attention and notice the natural slowing of your breathing, the sense that you can just naturally and gently elongate the breath. Notice if the mind is able to train itself on the rhythm of the breathing a little bit more easily when we're doing a practice like this than maybe just sitting in meditation. We're giving our mind something to do, following the rhythm of our breathing. As you breathe this way, pay attention to any sensations in your skull that you're feeling, any sensations of the channels of your trachea or your lungs. Just pay attention to how the breath feels coming in and out. See if you can recognize the impact of this on the hemispheres of the brain. So just paying attention. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to manipulate anything other than just closing your nose on one side and then the other. Just see if you can sense the reprieve of resting one side as you engage the other. Notice how this feels. Pay attention to your posture. Keep long and in your spine. If you're trying this new technique of switching hands, just notice what that might feel like to you. It's a little more active to have to be changing your hands. So notice if that assists you in your presence or disrupts you in some way. Are you just habituated to a different way of doing this? How does this feel? Is there any topping off of the tank that you're doing? Like when you have that moment of transition, are you sneaking in breath in two sides? Is there a desire for that? Just see what you can do to find that sense of really blocking off one side at a time, giving the one side an opportunity to be full. The next time your breath pattern gets around to breathing out again through the left, we'll end on that portion of the breath. Don't rush yourself. Just wait till you get there, and then when you do, let's go ahead and bring our hands down next to or onto our thighs. And pause for a moment and just pay attention and notice how you're breathing. Once you're finished, take your time getting to the end. When you have both nostrils available to you, enjoy. Maybe there's something different here that you're noticing than when we began. What is that difference? And then again, bring your hands together at your heart and notice if you feel calmer, if you feel a little more grounded. Is there any neck gain? Offer an intention again. And then release your hands. And I'd love to know, maybe at the end you can tell me how you felt about using your hands. I know in the past we've also done it where we've covered one side of the face, one eye, and using the side of the hand against the nostril, and going back and forth that way. So I'd love to hear your feedback. Okay, let's come find our way onto our back. So, and as you stretch out and lengthen your body, let's enjoy just the simplicity of beginning to move our body. And I kind of continue with a little bit of that left-right hemisphere work and move it into movement now. So as you stretch your arms overhead, let's start just simply by stretching your right arm up over your head a little farther, and then your left. And maybe stretching your right heel a little further away, and then your left. And just back and forth between left and right. Never underestimate the power of rhythmic left-right movements to support you. This could be just simple walking, hiking, running, lateral, swimming, anything that's kind of lefty-righty, lefty-righty. Okay. All right, drawing your knees into your chest, and now let's rock a little bit left and right, and see if you can pay attention that you're crossing the midline even here, even though we're not doing, oppositional limb movement. We are doing rocking, moving from the left to the right. So just notice as you rock to one side, what's your orientation to the left? What's your orientation to the right? Do you have dominance? Of course you have dominance. We all have dominance. Okay. And then pause for a moment right into the midline. All right, and then grab your knees and let's do some spiral circling. Knees are, the work is in the hands. The knees are the passive recipients of the movement. And then change directions, going the other way. And then open up the knees away from the middle and bring them back in toward, see if you can sense symmetry now. Nice, kind of moving through your hip joints. All right knee into your chest, left leg long on the ground, and see what it feels like to move around in your ankles, wiggle through your toes. A nice good squeeze of that knee into your chest. And then we'll cross the right knee over to the left and roll open to a twist. And just enjoy what this feels like as we kind of cross the midline again. And we have this experience of our lefts and our rights doing different things. See what it feels like. Turn your head all the way to the right and turn your gaze a little bit too. Deep breath in. And then come back to center and draw that knee in. We'll switch sides, left knee in, right leg long. Move your feet. And even though our feet might be doing, similar things left and right, the orientation in space is different. So notice your brain's reaction to just feeling your body doing not oppositional, but unequal things. This is such a beautiful thing for our brain to experience. And when you're ready, cross that left knee over to the right and stretch open to a twist on the side. Relax your head, full breaths. Turn your gaze even. Just enjoy all this beautiful opening. Notice how your breath feels. Anything different here after doing that alternate nostril breathing? And then we'll come back. Stretch open to a star and feel the sense of symmetry in your body. We're never totally symmetrical, but just enjoy that feeling of having our arms and legs match each other, reaching into space. And then exhale, drawing your knees into your chest, pick up your head. Again, open up big and wide. Feel that symmetrical movement. Exhale, drawing it in. One last time. Expanding open. Exhale, drawing it in. Put your head down, grab onto your feet or the backs of your knees for a happy baby. And let's rock a little bit, left and right, and just notice again that kind of moving into one side, moving into the other side. And then slow that down and feel yourself come into symmetry again. Take a deep breath. Feel how both sides of your nose are able to breathe here. And then stretch or don't stretch, whatever you want to do, rolling over onto your side eventually. Coming up onto your hands and your knees, finding all fours. And let's start to move through some cat-cows, arching and rounding and enjoying. So just enjoy that symmetry in the body. Breathing deeply. Breathing fully. And then go ahead and wag your tail or move around in any lateral movements or circular movements or any kind of movements that feel good for your body. And then stretch back toward a child's pose and lengthen your arms overhead and enjoy that reach. Full breaths here. Take your left arm down at your side, palm facing up. Right arm stays over your head, palm facing down. Take your left arm, put it behind your back, palm facing up. Let that shoulder stretch. From here, keep that arm behind you, but walk the other arm over to the left so you're stretching through that right side. And this is just a little bit different way of doing the stretch we always do. Notice how that feels to have something slightly different from our habit. Back to center, both arms up, stretch to a child's pose. Changing sides, right arm comes down, palm faces up, left arm stays overhead, palm faces down. Bring your right hand to the small of your back, palm facing up. And then inch that hand over, left hand over to the right and drop your sit bones. Stretching through your side, feel your shoulder open, relax through your skull. come back to center. Bring that arm out in front of you, come back up onto all fours, and move around in your spine again. Wiggling, swishing, swaying. Reach the left arm up in the air, give your wrist a little bit of a roll. Exhale and drop that shoulder down. Enjoy the twist, release your head. Breathing deep. All right, bring that arm back up in the air. Hand comes down onto the ground. We'll switch sides. Arm up, give a little bit of a wrist roll. Exhale, drop that shoulder under. Gazing toward the floor, relax your head. Breathe. Inhale, bring that arm back up in the air. Hand comes down onto the ground, lift to a dog pose. Take a little time, explore your legs here. We've been sitting for a bit doing the breath work, so just let your legs open up. Let's bend our knees, drop one heel down, and start to feel that pedaling here of left and then right. And it doesn't have to be fast. It can be slower movements. You don't have to move quickly. Okay. Just see what it feels like to open up through one side of your body and then the other. When you feel ready for it, come into stillness and feel symmetry. Drop in, root, and rise. Notice your breath. Is it full? Is it deep? Are your nasal passages a little bit more open? And then walk your feet forward and come to Uttanasana. Forward fold. Let your neck relax. Inhale for a halfway lift, opening up through your spine. And then exhale, melting again. One more time, a halfway lift. While hands are on blocks, let's go ahead and pedal your feet one more time. Moving one hip back as you drop the heel down, bending the opposite knee. Maybe your toes lift. Just kind of find whatever kind of rhythmic left-right movement you want to find. How's your breath? And then ground yourself, fold a little deeper, push through your feet, rising up. Bring the arms upward to the sky, feeling that extension. Let's cactus open. Big breath here. Exhale, round in, chin to chest. Twice more. Inhale, both arms up and wide. Exhale, round in, chin to chest. Enjoy opening your back and your shoulders. Big breath in. Exhale, hands to your heart. Pause here for a moment. Notice the beauty of the midline, that sense of symmetry again. Reach the arms up. Let's cross the right arm over the left arm. Drop your shoulders. And we're going to roll our spine forward and down and just let our arms dangle down in these dangling eagle arms. Relax your head. And then bend your knees, push through your feet, use your core. Inhale, arms coming up. Find a smidge of a back bend. Elbows up. And then unwind the arms, reach them high, cactus them open, and then back to center again. Feel your breath moving through both sides of your nose. Let's change to the other side. Left arm on top, right arm below, shoulders down, chest broad. Enjoy the stretch through your shoulders. Probably nobody on the planet doesn't need this stretch at some point or another. So let's enjoy it. And bend your knees. And we'll just release downward, letting those arms dangle, staying in the position they're in. Open up the back. Breathe deeply. And then bend your knees. Use your core. Inhale, keep your arms. Lift up. Maybe a teeny bit of a back bend. Lift your elbows. And then arms coming up to the sky, and release your arms down. Shrug your shoulders here a few times. Okay. And then pause and notice symmetry in your body. Take a deep breath through both sides of your nose and enjoy how full your breath can feel. Okay. Inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, floating down. A halfway lift. Open up through your spine. Exhale, release. What foot do you always take back to dog pose? Take the other one back first so you can feel your way moving into this posture in a new pattern. Drop into the weight of your hands and feet. Push through your body and feel the symmetry in the pose. Breathe through both sides of your nose. Fill up your lungs. Empty them out. Inhale, come forward into a plank. Even weight through your hands. See if you can ground evenly. Hug your hands toward each other, shoulders away from the ears. Full breaths here. Put your knees onto the ground. Drop down. Let's roll the shoulders. Take a deep breath in, cobra. Open the chest. Exhale. Melting again. One more time, rising up. Exhale, release down. Maybe you want another. How's the breath? Shoulders away from the ears. Come up onto all fours. Let's bring our right foot forward to a lunge. Lift your back knee up off the ground. And let's enjoy the movement we always do. Bending and straightening your front knee. Find your way into your breath. So even though we're doing oppositional things with our legs, see if you can train both sides of your nose to breathe well. Fill your breath up. Empty your breath out. All right, ground yourself, push your feet into the earth. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Challenge your balance, maybe look in a different direction, a little bit up. And then bring your arms straight out to the sides and feel like your arms are like the pole that you see a tightrope walker use to help you feel grounded into your feet. How's your core? Is it here for you a little bit? And then release your hands down. Back foot comes forward. Fold. A halfway lift, opening up through your spine. Exhale and release down. How's your body feeling? Is it feeling good to practice? Let's step your other foot back. Left foot's in front now. And let's breathe and move. Bending and straightening your front knee. Enjoying kind of touching all the places in your body, becoming embodied. Make sure your breath is moving well. And then ground your legs, push through the feet. Inhale, coming on up again. If you always look forward or look down, try to look up. If you always look up, maybe try to close your eyes. Just challenge that balance a little bit extra. Notice your breath. Pull through both sides of your nose. Open up through your ribs. Breathe deeply. Take in that prana. Bring your arms out to the side one more time, like that pole that we see tightrope walkers use for balance. Hug to the midline. Use the outstretched arms to give you that sense of you're wide and have great support. Release the hands down back to a dog pose. Feel that extension. Open up. Big breath in, big breath away. Come forward into a plank. Push the ground away. Find the ground. Rising up, cobra pose. Exhale. Releasing back down, back up to a dog. Breathing deep. Bring your right foot forward. Come to a lunge. Ground yourself. Inhale, climb up. Press and lunge again. This time, we're just going to imagine that our arms, we have a set of arms out there, so we have a really broad, strong base. And we're going to take our right arm on top of our left arm. Find your breath. Open up your chest. Look up, maybe a little bit of a back bend here. And then exhale and lean forward. Hold steady here. Engage your core, press into your feet. We're not going anywhere, we're just here. Unwind the arms. Put the left hand down on a block or the ground and reach the right arm up to the sky. Twist. Finding breath. Bring that hand down and turn to the side edge of your mat so we're in a wide-legged stance. Release your head. Bobble it about a little bit. Maybe a halfway lift. And then turn your feet out just a little bit, elbows inside your knees, deep, low squat, wide legs. Ground into symmetry with your feet, even weight. Okay. Turn back to the front of your mat, back foot comes forward. The halfway lift. Opening up, exhale, melting to fold. Relax your head, step your right foot back, come to a lunge. Ground yourself. Root down, both sides of your nose are breathing. Inhale, come on up. Let's cross left arm over right arm. Open up through your heart. Breathing deeply. Let your peripheral vision take over. And then we'll lean forward. We try not to collapse and fall. Press into the legs, engage your core. And then inhale, come on up, turn sideways to the side edge of your mat again. And we'll do a couple of rounds of some goddess pose. So turn your feet out. We'll exhale and drop down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Doesn't have to be your deepest posture. Feel your way into symmetry. Feel your way into bilateral breathing. Standing at the top, standing star. Now our arms and our legs are like those poles, giving us a broad base of support, inviting the breath in. And then bring your arms down, heel toe your feet in, and turn back to the front of your mat. Just pause for a moment. Notice the ground below you. All right, drop into your right foot. Bring your left thigh over. Right arm on top of full eagle pose. Squat down. Squeeze. Put your arms right in front of your vision so your peripheral vision feels symmetrical. Lift your chest. Lift your breath. Squeeze. Right, and then again, we'll inhale, open up, standing star. Doesn't have to be too wide, just be where you are. Then you put your feet back to neutral and enjoy your standing posture. Full breath. And full breath out. Breathing through the fullness of your lungs, fullness of both sides of your nose. And we'll stand into our left foot, cross the right leg over, left arm is on top. Notice if you turn to the side, just like we didn't want to turn with our hand on our nose. See if you can look at your forearms. Let your forearms take your central vision with it, and then let your peripheral vision take over. Squeeze and squat. Big breaths, billowing into the ribs. Widen your collarbones. And then unwind the posture and come to a standing star again. And release your hands down. Come back to neutral. Find a spot that's kind of far away to look at. So one of the other things you can do with that vision besides just left, right, is close far. So look as far away into the distance as you can. Maybe you can look out a window. Maybe you're just looking to the end of the room or through to another room. Go, let your vision be as far as you can make it. And then bring your hands right in front of your face, a few inches away, and look right at your hands and let your close vision take over. Symmetrical. Finding breath. If you work on a computer a lot, remember the 20-20-20 rule. Okay, for every 20 minutes, for 20 seconds, look 20 feet into the distance. Cover your right eye with your right hand, and imagine, you're doing that eye exam at the doctor where you have to just use one eye. Look far into the distance. Keeping that eye covered, bring your left hand close to you and look closely at your hand, a few inches away. Notice your breath. Notice the asymmetry. Okay, and then close your eyes, arms down at your sides. We'll switch sides. Cover your left eye, open your right, and look as far into the distance as you can. Take an opportunity to breathe here. Notice asymmetry somewhere in your brain. Okay. And when you're ready, right hand comes in front of your face. Bring it a few inches away and look at it. How's your breath? Can you sense that your feet are symmetrical? And then release the eye. Inhale, both eyes look up. Stretch your arms up overhead. And then exhale and float forward. A halfway lift, opening up through the spine. Exhale, come down. Opposite foot from your normal. Step back with the non-dominant foot, down pose. Relax your head. Soften your gaze or close your eyes. Inhale, come forward into a plank. Shoulders away from the ears, ground yourself. Feel symmetrical. Find the ground when you're ready. Any back bend of your choice. Find your breath as you lift up. Exhale as you come down. Come back up and take a moment to rest in child's pose. Release your forehead down to the ground. Enjoy your breath billowing through your two sides. Relax your eyes. Coming back up, bring your right foot forward, come to a lunge. Lift the back knee up off the ground. Find your way up to a crescent lunge, reaching the arms upward to the sky. Maybe look up. All right, look out into the distance, either upward or forward. Then cross right arm over left arm and look at your forearms. Close contact with the forearms. Gaze at them and then let your peripheral vision take over. Stabilize your body, core, low back supported. Deep breath in, lift your elbows. Exhale, lower them down a little bit. Lean forward, hop up onto that right foot, Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3, with your arms bound. Look at your arms, look at the floor. Can you do both? Now very slowly stand up, bring that knee with you, lift your knee up, full eagle pose. Squat down, and if you get a little off balance, that's normal and totally fine. Just squat, central vision, peripheral vision. Breathe. Let's come back from whence we came. Lift that knee up, step back toward a lunge, place your foot down, inhale, arms up, and then unwind the arms, look up, wide arms, back to that sense of arms out to the sides, a broad base, and then walk your back foot forward and pause in Tadasana. Hands can be at center, hands can be by your sides, eyes can be open, eyes can be closed. Notice the challenge of moving through that sequence. And there's many layers of it, obviously balance, but, and just organizing our body and getting our strength to be where we need it to be. But there's also this aspect of our vision, this aspect of our breathing. So let's just enjoy the ease of this posture. Let's have a moment of gratitude for all the workings of our brain, that we can live in these two hemispheres of our brain and cross between them like a beautiful bridge. Okay, let's step our right foot back. Come to a lunge on this side. Baby hands want to start on some blocks. You decide how you want to get organized with your legs. And then we'll inhale and rise up, crescent lunge. Again, play with the vision a little bit. Distance, closeness, up, down. And now we'll take our left arm over our right arm. Look closely at your forearms, center yourself, and then let your peripheral vision widen out. Find a breath and lift your arms. Let your gaze follow. If your balance goes off, it's okay. Just keep finding yourself. Exhale, leaning forward. When you feel ready, and you can take your back foot forward a little bit and have a little hop and then step into the pose however you want to transition. When you're here, can you still have the peripheral central vision happening? Core, grounding yourself with that foot, squaring your hips as best as you can, and then we'll slowly stand up, lift that knee with you. Deep breath, come into a full eagle pose, cross that leg. What's happening with your vision? Oh, look, there's a block right next to my toe. You can always do that. You can put a block underneath those toes so that you have a little extra balance support. And then we'll climb up out of that posture. Lift your knee. Lean back. Vira 3, one more time. Step your foot back. Lift the arms. Unwind the arms. Enjoy the unwinding. Arms straight out to your sides, like that balance again. Open yourself up broadly. Hands come down onto the ground, back to a dog pose. A full breath in, a release through the exhale. Last of the planks, come forward. Shoulders away from the ears. Feel that sense of symmetry. Knees onto the ground if you need, find the earth. Take a back bend of your choosing. Stretch open, finding the breath, releasing to come down. Come up onto all fours. Give your spine a nice little wiggle. Left foot comes in front to a lunge. Place your hand onto the ground, knee up or hand on the block. Inhale to a twist. I think we forgot this somewhere along the way. So here it is now. Release the hand down, turn sideways, and release into a Pajurita. Wide-legged stance. Release your head. Find your breath. Soften your gaze or close your eyes. Let your eyes rest now. All right, heel toe your feet, or however you want to get down onto your back. Okay. Pause on your back for a moment. Ground through your feet. We're going to inhale to a bridge. And you can do this passively if you'd like with the block underneath you, or you can do it actively, your choice. We're going to find our way into symmetry here, root down. Breathe deeply. And if you're using a block, you can have the block on the low or middle height, your choice, or stack two blocks. All right, and then come on down. And we'll do a second variation. And this time we're all going to use the block, but on the low height. So put the block under your sacrum, nice and balancing for the SI joints after the asymmetrical work. If it's comfy, stretch your legs straight, both of them, heels down on the ground. And you can experiment with legs closer, like hip width apart, or a little wider. And if this doesn't feel good in your back, don't do it. Put your feet on the ground instead. And then if it's comfy, stretch your arms overhead. And then release. Bring your feet back underneath you. Bring your knees toward your chest, not all the way in. Resist that for now. Just let your knees kind of land over your hips, maybe a little closer to your chest, but not all the way into your chest. Melt through your sacrum and lift your legs straight up in the air. Look at your feet. Just like we were looking at our arms in the eagle pose. Now bring your arms straight out to the sides and let your gaze look upward at your feet. Breathe through both sides of your nose. If we were going to shut off one nostril, which intuitively would you have a little more trouble with? Have you, shifted dominance from one side or the other? And now bring your knees a little closer in toward your chest. Maybe give a little hug. And we'll put our feet down onto the ground. Lower your pelvis to the earth. Grab a strap. 2 feet in the strap. Okay, so lift your legs up in the air. And then use the strap to kind of press your legs down into the earth. Just opening up your hamstrings a little bit here. Flex your feet, lift your heels. A little different than when our legs are up, or our pelvis is up on a block. Feel that length of your spine. All right, release the strap. Your choice. You can do reverse pigeon, or if you want to flip over for pigeon or any other hip stretch, let's just open up that hip a little bit from all this balancing standing work. So open up through your right hip first. Or if you're already in position with your left, start there. You do you. Notice your breathing. All right, when you're ready, switch sides. Left foot on your right knee or cross your thigh over thigh, or maybe you're in pigeon. Breathe deeply through both sides of your nose. All right, put your feet on the ground and let's windshield wiper our knees left and right. Turn your head in opposition, nice and gentle here. If you want to go deeper into a twist, by all means, or if you want to just stay in this left-right rocking, stay in the left-right rocking. All right. Bring your knees into your chest. If you want a little bit of a happy baby, you can do that. If you want to rock left to right, you can do that. And as we prepare for Shavasana, if there's anything else you need, you do you. And as you come to lie down for this pose, see if you can give yourself a little room. Feel free to have your arms and legs not, be glued up against your midline. See if you can give yourself a little space. And then don't focus too much on symmetry because you'll go crazy trying to recognize all the little ways that you're not symmetrical, but just feel an even weightedness of your arms and your legs. And let's enjoy, kind of take notice of the perfect design that we are, that we have two legs, that we have two arms, two lungs, two ears, two eyes, two nostrils. There's a lot of us, two hemispheres of the brain. There's a lot of parts of us that are in pairs. So let's just enjoy and have a deep gratitude for the pairing of our body. Feel the fullness of your breath now as you melt into the ground. Feel the fullness of your breath. Let's begin to deepen our breathing. Fill both sides of your lungs. Maybe roll your ankles, roll your wrists, any kind of movement that feels good. Eventually finding your way to your side. Use your arms to push yourself upright. Be very slow. And when you find a comfortable seat, pause for a moment. Notice your breath. Fill up all of your sinuses, all of your lungs. Let's bring our hands together at the heart, at the midline of the body. Soften your inner gaze toward those hands. Feel the focus of melding into the center and offer your practice outward from here. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.